Meet the Simbas, bold, aggressive, and hungry to see Africa succeed. They are some of Southern Africa's finest industry leaders who started off with nothing. Chamo Chiwanza, the local maverick, has companies in security, real estate, and transport, to name a few. Ritesh Anand is a leading global fund manager with over 15 years of investment experience. Florence Ziyumbe, a successful corporate lawyer and one of the first women to have her own legal firm in Zimbabwe. Nigel Chanakira, he is the fearless executive chairman of Success Motivation Institute. Gary Thompson, today he's one of the biggest names in marketing and advertising in Zimbabwe. Two innovators, 5 Simbas. If their pitch is compelling enough, they walk away with a life-changing deal. If not, they leave with nothing.
My name is Temblang Ngube, here representing NetTech. So excited to be part of the Simba Savannah and to meet the Simbas. I'm looking forward to having them come on board and on this exciting project. In the 1980s, the beef consumption rate in Zimbabwe was around 14.3 kgs. And in 2010 up to 2012, up to this period, it has dropped down to 4.3 kgs, attributing to the fact that Zimbabweans have resorted to other sources of protein to supplement their diet. I bid you a very good evening to you all, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Temblang Ngube, and this is my fellow colleague, Bongani Masugu. We are representing NetTech, the power of group computing. We look forward to be one of the leading ICT brands and innovation labs by 2030. To provide alternative, sustainable, and affordable solutions to the market. Today we are broadcasting one of these machines, 2 models, and we have termed them the Net Machine. It's an automated chicken feeding machine. Basically, we have got 2 models, the small scale model and the large scale model. The small scale model is focused at the small scale farmers. According to statistics provided by the Zimbabwe Poultry Association, we have got more than 250,000 small scale backyard industry farmers. And from that amount of farmers, we can give them and they can use this small scale model. Now the characteristic and the basic features of these 2 machines, they are powered by a 12 volt, 40 amp hour solar battery. We are using solar energy. Why? Because we're looking at sustainable utilization of energy and also reducing the carbon dioxide footprint. And also, these machines are energy efficient. When the machine is working, it's using up to 5 amps. When it's idle, not doing anything, can be using up to 2 amps, meaning that we are saving about 3 amps of energy each and every moment. Feeding capacity up to 5,000 beds. The small model can feed up to 200 beds. This large scale model up to 5,000 beds. Basically, the small model is for the small scale farmers, and then the large scale model is for the commercial farmers. Now, the problem with the current poultry sector is that people have resorted to manual feeding. And by manual feeding, it means that you have to constantly move to and fro to the fowl run. But then with this machine, it is automated. By automation, we mean that it's going to feed when it's necessary. So we're mitigating wastage of food. You don't just feed at any point, but you feed when necessary. All the models, they are coupled with what are called weight sensors. The principle behind the sensor is that when the trough is empty, it's going to trip the sensor and it's going to report to the circuitry board. And then what happens now, this is called the feed distributor. It should be stationed at a main repository. We never bought the model, unfortunately, because of lack of funds. But then there's a main buffer storage there, where this feed distributor first reports to and collects feed. And then it goes now, it moves to the feeding trough, where it replenishes the trough. The same principle of the weight sensor is used in the small model. So both models, they use the principle of the weight sensor. These 2 machines we have managed to apply for a patent from the African Regional Intellectual Property Organization, ARIPO, and that's the application.
Tembalami, for the benefit of time, I want to see how this machine works.
Okay, so we're now going to demonstrate how the machine works.
Okay, basically what we have is a lever system that triggers a release switch, a limit switch, whereby when the trough is full, it's sitting on the floor due to its weight. But now the counterbalance is 2.5 kgs, or at least the carrying capacity of the feeding trough is 5 kgs. So when it's full, it's sitting downwards, and when it's empty, it due to the counterbalance rises to trigger the switch. So with this switch, when the switch is triggered like this, what happens? It reports to the control board. The signal is sent to the control board. From the control board, there's actuating action. Is the plate that covers the lid draws out. When it draws out, the feed then drops into the feeding trough. When it drops into the feeding trough, there's a 10-second interval, then it closes. So when it closes, that the trough will be then sitting on the ground, waiting for the chickens to finish the feed so that it can rise again and trigger the switch. So it's a continuous loop that we have managed to design.
So what's the deal? What you looking for?
Basically, we're looking for strategic partners. We're looking at partnering with you in helping developing this idea so that we can mass produce it and eventually it's going to benefit the market.
How much is one of those units, or both of them?
This small scale model, the production cost is $96. And unfortunately, there is also the main buffer storage, but in this commercial model, we managed to make it in around $300.
Tabulani Bongani, could I ask you a question? Do you guys do chickens yourselves, or know of any family members? Are you making any money from the product using this or not?
For raising initial capital for prototyping, we're keeping 100 beds.
What's the deal?
Yeah.
You're looking for how much money, for how much equity for your experiment?
Okay, we're looking at for 40,000 for 15% equity. That is for product development. We want to standardize the components that we are using so that it can be more commercially viable.
40,000 for 15%?
Yes.
Where did you guys get these figures?
Coming up after the break.
The Simbas and anyone else is not going to look at this seriously. I think you've got to take this back into a few more prototypes.
Basically, this is a prototype to demonstrate the principle.
Okay.
What you're looking for is someone who can assist us with the financial aid to standardize in terms of the design.
I think your idea is very good, especially where you're coming up with solar power.
Tembalami and Mongani are looking for $40,000 in exchange for 14% of their automated chicken feeding machine. Will the Simbas take the risk, or will they chicken out?
Well, why would you offer only 40%?
15%.
Or only 10% when you're expecting that amount of money?
And
your project is at inception.
you're experimenting.
You're
This is
experimenting.
still an experiment.
15.
There is not even a guaranteed return for anyone who is bringing in the money. The product has not been tested in the market at all. And you want to take 40,000 and offer the other person 10%. Is that a deal? Is that a business deal?
prototype, or is this the exact product that's out there? Because it's shadily done, absolutely. No one would buy this. Or when it's finished, I mean, the welding is poor.
Yeah.
Will you do this? Is just a product.
we are aware. Basically, this is a prototype to demonstrate the principle.
Okay.
What you're looking for is someone who can assist us with the financial aid to standardize in terms of the design. We are looking at our models that we have for the commercial model. They are more nicer than this, and they are more modern than this.
Okay.
Even like the structure in terms of this container is being balanced.
Okay,
on the actual one is going to balance
let's
from
cut to the chase, right? Let's cut to the chase. How much are you going to sell that for? It costs you $96 to produce. How much are you going to sell it for?
The basic model is going for $250. The basic
small.
model. That's the small one. The basic model.
$250.
Yeah.
And the big one?
The big one is going for $499 for. We're charging as per a broiler cycle, whereby when the farmer finishes his duration of keeping chickens, he can then pay us.
Okay. How many do you expect to sell?
Okay. In the first month, we're expecting to sell 100.
First year, I don't care first month. How many in the first year, second year, third year?
Okay. First year, we're expecting to sell 1,000.
Okay. Second year?
Second year, we're expecting to sell 1.5.
Yeah.
Then in the third year, we're expecting to sell 5,000 units.
And how much money do you expect to make? Year 1, year 2, year 3?
Before you answer that, where is the money? Is it in product support? Or because I'm definitely in selling these things, there's no money. Because if you're going to make $100, $200, it costs you $300 to produce this, you're selling it for $200. If you sell 1,000 of them, that's what, $200,000? There's no money there.
The power of the made machine is that it's not just a standalone machine. We have an application that we have developed, such that even when the machine is in Shabane or Rua, the farmer can still access like the feeding habits, how many kgs have been released in terms of the feed quantity. And we've also managed to incorporate an online store whereby when the farmer runs out of feed, he can use the online store to purchase the stock feed.
Bongani, Timbani, great to see you guys in an environment creating where the creative space is under pressure. Evidently, this, as your colleagues have heard from up here, the Simbas and anyone else is not going to look at this seriously. I think you're here a year too early. I think you've got to take this back into a few more prototypes. And what excites me about your model is that it's only going to cost you $400 cumulatively to keep reinvesting in your business and upping both sizes. I just think you've come a bit too early and you're asking people to finance your business. You're going to give away too much stock, too much equity when you just need to sweat out maybe another year. You're young, hey, you'll get there. But as for me, I'm out.
I like the innovation, the thinking outside the box, and you guys are very creative, absolutely. But money and being creative, they walk parallel lines. You have to make them meet. So you have to make your creativity produce monetary results. And this creativity at the present moment, I don't see dollars throwing. So I'm out.
The thing is, I think your idea is very good, especially where you're coming up with solar power. I think it makes a lot of sense to me. But here's the downside. The way it is looking now, with wires all over, I mean, it's very difficult to picture where we are going with that. The second thing is, I'm not even so sure whether you have checked your pricing against the other equipment, or be it manual, that is being offered. But your idea of bringing in a solution to our, energy problems, brilliant. So for me, because it's just too early, I'm out.
I'm definitely out. It looks tatty. Doesn't look the part. It's creative, which I like. I would like to make you an offer for you to actually see a modern plant from one of my clients, so that you see how the technology is used. But I'll give you the exposure visit. I'll give you the networks of guys who potentially could use this, and maybe we look at the comparisons in terms of the total cost. Trial run. Let them try out your equipment in a little shed by the side, and they do the cost comparisons, which is what you will need. Now, if you can prove to that, chicken operation that this is cost effective for them, guess what? They'll dump what they have and, take up your own equipment. So that's the offer. Okay. Thank you.
Gentlemen, as a university project, you'd probably get an A. But this product is just far too early. You also lack business experience, practical business experience, which I'm glad my fellow Simba is offering you. My advice to you would be to focus on the small scale farmers or the chicken producers. The large scale producers, the technology is so far advanced, and I think you'll see that when you visit the site. Focus on the small scale, because I think that's where there's demand. That's where I think you're meeting a great need in Zimbabwe. A lot of people going into chicken farming. I think focus your energy on developing a robust product for the 250,000 small scale producers. This 5,000 chicks and above, there's a lot of science, there's a lot of technology involved. You're wasting your time, to be perfectly honest, unless there's a way you can integrate what you're doing with what you see on site. But well done to you guys. You're bright. You've got an inquisitive mind. You've got a curious mind. Build on that. I'm not necessarily sure that this is what you're going to end up making your money from, but you both will certainly make a lot of money. Good luck.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. It was a great experience, finally to meet the Simbas, and I'm very grateful that we managed to get into a network pioneered by Nigel Chanakira, and we're fully going to implement our project and our idea. Very grateful.
coming up after the break.
I think there's an aspect that you're missing.
Sure.
You're going to have more users of this product than tradesmen.
The struggle that we're having is that it's happening in Zimbabwe.
You've got 3 ways of making revenue. I think you'll be lucky if you get 2 out of 3.
I was tempted, to show you a brick of cash.
My name's Elliot Beattie. I'm the founder of a company called Handyman. We are here today at Simba Savannah to hopefully get some support from the Simbas to take our application from being a closet project to being a household name. Afternoon Simbas, how are you doing? You alright?
Doing good.
My name's Elliot Beattie. I'm the founder behind Handyman, the mobile application. Handyman is a mobile app that simplifies the process of linking clients with tradesmen, with a specific focus on service accountability. So there are the app itself solves 2 fundamental problems, both the one experienced on the client side, the second experienced on the tradesman side. I'll start off with the client side. It's pretty simple. I'm just going to give you these 2 phones. One of them, there are two interfaces. So on this phone we have the user interface. I'm just going to do one here and then one over there. So we have just swipe to open it. Okay, so there are 2 sides to this application. You have your user side and your tradesman side. So we'll set up a scenario. We were looking for a plumber. Little Joey's got his shoe stuck in the toilet. He presses the broadcast button. The broadcast button brings up a job card. You fill in information on the job card, so what your address is, how important the value of your project is, which tradesman you're looking for, what the problem is in particular, and you can also put in take a photo of what the problem is so that the tradesman understands exactly what it is they're tackling. You broadcast the job, it goes up to the server. From the server, it identifies all of the plumbers who match the specific credentials that you set out. Comes down to their phone. They then get this job card arrives on their phone. They can see all of the information that I just listed out to you. From there, they can make an educated choice whether they think that they are suitable to do the job, whether they have the time, etc. So they then hypothetically, let's say he accepts the job goes back to the server, back to his phone, and on his phone, we will then start to get, over a period of time, profiles will start to list beneath the job that you've signed to, so that you can then go through those profiles. Now, those profiles include information like qualifications, languages that are spoken, cash payment methods that they may have, team members, obviously names, photos, etc. But with a specific area, and this is where I come to the service accountability, which is talking about rating. On their profiles, they have a section which is dedicated to comments that are left by previous clients, and as well as a section that is dedicated to rating, which is rated on 3 aspects: service, value, and quality. And then those are averaged out to give you whatever rating it is that you have. Once you've got that, you then call the tradesman, you set up a job, and then there's a schedule that's set to both jobs, so you both know when the job is going out. It's synced on both phones, so it'll remind you an hour before the job is due to go down. You'll meet up, the job is done. Once the job is completed, you select the Rate a Tradesman button. This brings up a camera facility. Each tradesman is given a QR code, which is specific to them. It works in 2 ways. One is to be able to rate the tradesman, but the more important one that we actually saw it for was actually being able to identify the person who you're pitching, who's come to your gate, is who they say they are. So you can rate it, scan the QR code, and it comes up, and then it gives you the facility to rate them by each thing and leave a comment. I'm here today to offer 10% in my company, but I'm not asking for cash. I need to take this project from the closet project that it is right now and turn it into what would be a home brand. I need marketing avenues, I need connections, I need advertising. I think that the most important thing about this application right now is guaranteeing that people can get it onto their phone. We need to be able to get this to the masses.
So digital marketing, really?
Sure. I mean, it could be several things. I mean, ideally, I think for us to be able to really reach the masses, we need things like billboard space. We need printed advertising, whether that be we could be in newspapers, but it could be in magazines, etc. It just and from and just in its entirety, an advertising campaign that could really reach the people that we're trying to get to.
Okay, Gary is the expert in marketing, so I'm going to take the cue from him. But just on the app itself, the concept, is this something you've originated or something you've seen this somewhere and it works, or what?
No. This is originated. So,
Elliot,
sorry.
excite me. Where is the money?
Okay.
$10 per month subscription. What is that for?
Okay, so there are three revenue streams that can come in from this application. The first one obviously is what you can see here, which is the $10 per month. When we move further down the line, there are two more. The first one that we're looking at is actually advertising, and this would be quite obvious, but our advertising works quite differently. The tradesmen, one of the big issues that tradesmen have is that when they do a job, they need to be able to get quotes. They need to get quotes quick, and managing to get numbers, get in contact with people and find out who's actually got what product is again laborious, and it takes a lot of time. So what the next step would be to integrate, putting all of the hardware stores, product providers, etc., onto the application as a contacts page. So once we've got that platform set up on the application, we hope to be able to implement a system called HandyPay. It's just a concept for now. Haven't really committed to it yet. And HandyPay would be more there as a option for a payment option.
I hear you, but from what I'm gathering, it's inevitable that you need money.
Yes.
But you're saying you're not offering. You don't want money.
Well,
you want advertising.
Sure.
But I'm sitting here. I'm looking at what you're saying. And I'm thinking, what you really need is money.
Coming up after the break.
Listen, I think that you're trying to have a wedding without having the girl. It's just a little bit premature.
So I'm the only one standing.
Yeah, this is more colorful, like your tie.
I'm here too.
I was tempted, to show you a brick of cash.
Elliot is bridging the gap between tradesmen and the market with his handy app. He needs a marketing boost in exchange for 10% of his company.
But I'm sitting here, I'm looking at what you're saying. And I'm thinking, what you really need is money.
It's a fair point. I agree. I mean, money does help these things.
This is a program on the shelf, and any program that you take out of the shelf automatically attracts expenditures, expenses, naturally.
Maybe I can come in there. How many tradesmen do you think you can sign up in the first year, second year, third year? Okay.
Well, I did a marketing campaign at the end of last year. From those initial subscriptions, we got about 100 different tradesmen. We've also got 666, which is a bit weird number to stop on, but 666 likes on our Facebook page. But I'd say about 40% of those are tradesmen.
There is a large market, but there isn't a large enough market that can afford $10 a month. So $10 a month might be okay for your plumber in Borrowdale and Chisipiti, but it might not be affordable for the plumber that's sitting in Mbari Msika.
Sure.
Firstly, I mean, look, 100 tradesmen at $10 a month is going to give you $1,000 a month. Honestly, you're not going to get rich.
Sure.
You're going to have more users of this product than tradesmen.
Sure.
The idea is, everyone needs a plumber, everyone needs somebody to repair their fridge. You're missing something. Why haven't you thought about how you can make money out of the user? Why are you so focused on the handyman?
Okay, the reason for that, and I appreciate that feedback, but the problem that we've actually faced is that our launch is actually happening at this point. The struggle that we're having is that it's happening in Zimbabwe. And the ability to actually get people to commit, especially from a client's perspective, to commit to paying that, your market's not big enough. Your middle market is not large enough to be able to sustain that and encourage people to use that service.
But neither is your handyman.
Yeah, I think I'm out of this one, for sure. Now, Gary, you tell me.
Listen, I think that you're trying to have a wedding without having the girl. It's just a little bit premature.
Okay.
I like the idea. Your branding is super cool. Well done on that. Very clean, straight to the point. Handyman, handy pay. I think you've got a lot of potential there. You understand your stuff. There's too much vocabulary and there's not enough profit. I think it would be better, in my opinion, if you went to Generation 1 marketing, which would be the following. I know it's a bit of bricks and mortar, but I would submit that people will buy you. People will trust you because you haven't got a rating problem here. You've got a credibility problem. You've got 3 ways of making revenue. I think you'll be lucky if you get 2 out of 3. A lot of it's nebulous, and I think you're just a little bit premature, but I love the fact that you figured it all out. But I don't, and I agree with Ritesh, I don't think you figured out the dollar side right now in a very tough marketplace. I'm more bricks and mortar at this time. Sorry to be old-fashioned.
No, sure.
You're out.
With that, I'd love to be in, but I'm closing the door.
Sure, not a problem. Thank you.
I just one question for you. Is it safe for me as a housewife to post information regarding my house on a public platform?
We have actually taken that in consideration. I mean, if we're looking at security services being provided, if people are looking for things like, for example, my electric gate is broken, we don't post information that would be detrimental to your safety.
I will not be in at this stage.
Okay.
I'm out.
Sure.
But I want to encourage you. Keep at it.
Thank you.
So I'm the only one standing.
Yeah, this is more colorful, like your tie.
I'm here too.
I was tempted, to show you a brick of cash. I was very tempted.
Yeah.
Because that's how I operate. I entice people.
Sure.
But I'm not totally convinced that we can make money out of this. And then, I'm sorry.
No, it's not a problem.
Elliot, I think a bit like you, I spent a fair bit of time in London.
Yeah.
I understand the challenges of finding a good quality handyman when you need a tradesman when you need one. The issue that I have is I don't think you've thought through the revenue model as much as you could have. I think there is a different way of building this business from a revenue perspective. African solution for African problems. I strongly believe in that. Perhaps Zimbabwe is not the market, the right place to launch a product like this. Lagos, Kenya, Tanzania, even South Africa for that matter, may be a more attractive market. For 10% of your company, I'm prepared to help you develop this concept, refine it, and perhaps even tweak it.
Okay.
To something that's perhaps, if we want to start in Zimbabwe, perhaps something that's more appropriate for this market. I don't know, and we've got to think about I think the money's not in Borrowdale and Chisipiti. I think the money's in Mbarimi-Sika and Chitungwiza.
Okay. Just quick question, with that 10%, would you have any avenues that we would be able to advertise this?
I've built a business in Zimbabwe from scratch.
Sure.
Over the last 5 years. I launched a Facebook page a year ago. We have 2,500 likes. I'm not proud of that, but 2,500 likes in less than a year is something. I think you can really leverage off social media. You don't need to spend money on billboards.
Okay.
What I am prepared, just to be clear, for 10%, I'm not going to sit there and say, I'll come and meet you once a month and we can talk. I will seriously help you think through how we can take this business from a concept stage into a final product. Sure. And I will give you whatever support's required. And if it doesn't work in Zimbabwe, I'm prepared to open doors for you in Kenya, Tanzania, and even Nigeria.
So,
that's a handy offer.
Come on.
That's an amazing offer. Yeah, I'm very happy with that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ritesh.
Look forward to it.
Hands on.
Thank you, man. Thanks. Thanks, guys.
Would you like your phone back?
Oh, that helps, yeah. Yeah, compliment. Thanks, guys. Enjoy yourselves.
Ritesh is like, I've got 2,500 followers on Facebook. I'm not proud of it. I'm not. Please.
Yeah, I think the pitch went well. I appreciate a lot of the feedback that I got from the Simbas. There are probably a couple of issues that need to be touched up on. I'm glad that Ritesh came on, especially when he gave me the offers at the end towards links in Kenya and other African nations. So yeah, no, it's exciting. I'm looking forward to pursuing this a little bit further.
Next week on Simba Savannah.
It's not about kinky hair, it's about you. You are the brand ambassador, and it's kind of rich coming from a Caucasian. But let me say this, you really are a great sales lady.
Why shouldn't I invest?
Actually, I can't come up with anything because hair grows out of our head every day.
Nyasha, there are other issues.
Florence, before we go there, can I interrogate your numbers further? Yeah.
Sure. I'm betting she's going to be right. Don't let me down, please, Nyasha.
And yes, there's potential in that business. I'm not so sure about, the difficult of your business is you're going to be able to train your stylists. And once the stylists are trained, why do you think they'll stick with you?
So you're valuing your business at about $100,000?
At about $100,000 per branch.
Would someone just make a deal and stop interrogating? All right, so what's the numbers? Yes or no?
The numbers don't add up.